Hello and welcome to the Ram Show. My name is Carlos. It is September 24th, 2017. Excited to be back with lots of great topics for this week. And I'm here with presumably Zach, I think. I think he's here.
I'm late, but
dude, we're both
it doesn't
late.
matter because you were talking to nothing for 10 minutes. So
No, I was talking, but no one could hear me. So.
yeah, exactly.
Well, no, I waited until about 5:07 to actually start because I thought maybe you would, be in time and stuff like that. So, anyway. So, you know what? Let me go back and you know what? We'll touch on this real quick. I know this is out of order and stuff like that, but this is an interesting concept, okay? So you've heard of the huge retailer Walmart before, right? Walmart's.
Well, of course.
Okay, so
who hasn't?
Right. I don't know. Do they have Walmart in I would imagine. Well, I don't know if they have Walmarts in Europe. Do they?
That's actually a pretty good question. I don't know.
I don't know if they do. Because you said
I've never been there.
Everyone knows, Walmart and everything. I was like, I don't know if they actually have Walmart in Europe. I don't know. Anyway. So Walmart is testing this new idea. Let me know what you think of this, right? So they're teaming up with a company called August Home. It's a smart lock company, and then they also make smart home accessories and things like that. And the idea is I would presume, either go up onto Amazon, or not Amazon, Walmart's website, or there's an app or something like that, and you order your groceries there, right? And then somebody from Walmart drives to your home with all of your groceries, and they deliver them.
Well, okay, that's interesting.
Now, here's the thing. So, they deliver them, right? So if you're home, no big deal, you just let the person in. They're teaming up with the smartphone or the smart home company thingy, right? August Home. So if you're not there, the delivery driver gets a one-time access code to open the door. They then enter your home while you're not there and fill your fridge up.
Okay.
Now, here's the thing. So through the app, you can you get alerted as soon as they push the doorbell, and then you can actually watch the entire thing on the app, assuming you have, cameras.
I guess that's interesting.
I can see this, okay, I could see somebody wanting to take the cheap way out and just getting, the lock, right? And not getting cameras or whatever. I don't know. Well, I don't know if it all comes in a bundle or whatever, but, if that's the way it went and everything, I could totally see, some sketchy Walmart employee, can you imagine?
Yes, I can imagine. I absolutely can imagine.
Hey, Zach, here's a perfect opportunity to use your catchphrase.
Really now? Huh?
Yes, which is what? You know it. No, you're not gonna say it? Fine, if you don't say it, I'll say it. This is a bad idea.
I'm not so sure. Well, I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's an okay idea.
It's an okay idea, but I can see it's an okay idea, but I can see it turning into a bad idea.
It's an okay idea in theory, but all it takes is one person to just steal some stuff out of somebody's house, and the whole thing comes crashing down. So, I don't mean, I guess I would hope they have some kind of screening about the people who do this. Has to have worked there for at least X amount of time and had a clean record or something.
They send an ex-criminal to your home.
Send somebody with a convicted felony to fill up your fridge. Oh boy!
Wow, can you imagine the flack of the PR they would have to do? Well,
yeah,
you would have the flack first, and then you'd have to deal with the PR.
Oh, man.
So anyway, so that's the thing that's happening. I guess they're testing it right now in Silicon Valley with a handful of August Home customers. But anyway, so moving on. You know
moving
what?
on.
You know what? Let's talk about let's update real quick here. What's going on with us and TechBeam and things like that real quick, because usually that's how we start our shows. Is what's going on?
I have no idea other than we might build Joe a PC.
I'm glad you brought that up because it's actually what I wanted to talk about. I have not talked to him. You know what? Let me get my phone out here.
See if he'll talk to us right now.
Well, not necessarily talk to us, but that'd be interesting. Well, you might be able to hear him off of, if I put it on speakerphone and see what's going on there. Hold on. Let me... So, I have an iPhone.
Yes, you do.
And I'm not quite keen on the whole, what is it? The new update to iOS 11. Like, it looks okay in some parts, but like you saw like the text, it looks like obnoxious, doesn't it?
Yeah, it kind of does.
It looks like it's geared towards like older people who have problems reading like the small font, which, let's keep in mind here, you've always been able to change the font size by going into the settings. Although older people who aren't good with technology, they probably don't understand how that works.
Well,
I'm just
speculating. What I wonder is why did we even need to change the fonts at all? Like, I didn't know there was a problem with the font.
I don't think they changed the font. I just think they changed the size. They made it a lot bigger, and they made it bold.
Well, they didn't really need to change anything about it, don't you think?
That's probably true. So,
I guess it'd be interesting to see whether or not your opinion is shared by the majority or not.
You know what? Joe also has it too, and he was not a huge fan of it.
Okay, so that's 2 of 2 people.
You know what?
Who disagree with their choice of font. All right. I guess that's...
Oh, wow, they changed the tone on this. Can you hear that?
Huh?
Hey!
Oh, yeah, I can hear that a little bit.
So we've got Joe with us, kind of, on my phone. So, are you actually home this weekend, or are you at the dorms?
I'm at my house.
Okay, so he is at his house. Okay. So, say hello to the Ram Show, Joe.
Well,
hello. Well, okay, so we wanted to talk to you real quick about, hold on, let me put my phone down here. We wanted to talk to you real quick about, what's going on. We were talking about possibly building you a computer, remember?
Yeah.
So, now, Zach, let me ask you, can you hear him?
Barely.
Okay, so, barely. Here. Let's do this. Let's turn the volume up as much as I can. So last we knew, you had a computer that was possibly something we could use.
Maybe.
Maybe. So is that still a thing or not?
I don't know.
Are you shy because you're on the show right now?
I don't know. I'm just not very talkative right now. Yeah,
of course. How wonderful. We picked the one time that Joe is not talkative to actually put him on the show.
Yeah, the time you caught me off guard.
Well, okay. We were talking about updates, me and Zach, and we decided that we were going to see what was up and everything. Yeah. And he brought up the fact that we wanted to do a PC build with you. Yeah. So we figured we would give you a call real quick and see what was going on. I don't think this is going anywhere, Zach.
No.
can't say I agree with you, or I can't say I disagree with you. Sorry, I do agree with you. In fact.
Okay, so Zach is agreeing with me right now, just because you can't hear his end of the conversation. Anything? Okay, no, just real quick, and we'll let you go because we got the show to do. But so, did you find the computer, and are we going to be able to do something with it?
I mean, I know where it is. It's downstairs here, but I don't know if it actually does anything. But
well, okay, that's not a problem, right, Zach? I mean, we can look at it. We can go from there, right?
We can look at it.
Yeah, we can look at it. The main thing is like. Well, yeah, bring it back with you, and then we'll see what we're working with.
I said I don't know if I'll be able to bring it back.
Oh, he doesn't know if he'll be able to bring it back. Well, we'll work on that. Hopefully you can, because that'll save you some money.
Yeah.
All right, fine. I will talk with you later when you are more talkative. We just thought, we would see what was going on. We want to give people an update here as to what we're planning on TechBeam, but anyway.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
All right, we'll talk to you later.
Okay, bye.
Wow, that was not helpful at all.
Unfortunate.
Unfortunate. But like the good news is, like, it sounds like there is a computer. We just don't know like all the circumstance. I'll figure it out later. And everything. Maybe we'll call him back after the show when he's like, it doesn't have to be. I think he's shy. Anyway, all right. So that's a possibility of what may be going on. Working on that, updating it, and turning it into a decent system for him to actually be able to do something with. So that's on the table, I think. If we don't get that computer, we'll probably, because here's what I was thinking, and I know I've talked to you about this before, but just going out to the pawn shop and seeing what they have, and then with your knowledge of, hardware and stuff like that, and I'm confident enough to actually bargain, I think between the two of us, we can get a pretty decent price.
I think it'd be interesting to go just see what they have. Like, I don't know, whatever. What's the worst that could happen? That's
true. We could. Actually, I think that would be a fun adventure. So
perhaps.
So we may look into that, but yeah, like I said, if he's already got a system like laying around and ready to go, like that's gonna save him, a couple $100 or so right there. So
yeah, it will. Well, I mean, I guess it depends what you're looking to start out with. I mean,
well,
if you're looking to start out with a platform that you could just slap a Q6600 and some extra RAM in, that might only cost you like $70-$80, if even that.
That is true.
But still, it's good to save.
Yeah,
if he's already got
it's
one.
Good to,
no
it's good to have free
unless
stuff.
Unless it's really old. Oof.
Well, he said it was like 10 years old, but I kind of doubt that. So, anyway, I don't know. We'll find out. I guess. So, anyway, let's move on for this week here, and actually jump into our first topic. Ooh, Zach, I know how much you love Apple.
Oh, really? And you know what? Reading this one, ooh, this one's gonna be good.
Okay, fine. Anytime you get to kind of, like, make fun of Apple, I know you're gonna take it. So, anyway.
Oh, of course I will. You better believe it.
So, this is the iPhone 8 right here. It looks nice. I will say that. It looks glossy. Now, here's the thing, though. Glossy screen. Well, and here's the reason it's glossy. We should probably point this out. Because not only is the, there's glass on the front, right? There's glass on the back, too.
What is the point of that? I don't understand. Why does it have to be glass?
Because it gives it that nice shiny finish that people want. People love shiny.
But when it breaks, do you love shiny that much anymore?
Well,
when it breaks and you gotta pay for it?
We'll get into
Probably more than $100, given that we're talking about Apple. Let's see. Other damage fee of $99.
Hold on. We'll get there in a moment. Hold on.
All right, fine.
So let's go back real quick to why we need this whole glass thing and stuff like that. Do you remember the release of Windows 7?
No, well, not very well.
Well, okay, not the release, but you remember Windows 7, right? And let's even go back to Windows Vista. Do you remember that whole glass effect that they added on to everything?
Yeah, I do, actually.
Yeah, because people like that. That's why they did it.
Like it. Well, okay. You know, I remember the first time I saw Windows Vista, I was like, huh, that glass thing is kind of cool, or that style is kind of cool.
It was kind of cool.
Of course, little did I know Windows Vista was a load of crap. But I never actually used a system with Windows Vista on it. I did.
My HP ProBook 4510S had Windows Vista on it when I got it. And it was Windows Vista Home, and I remember that I got a blue screen of death like at least twice. At least twice.
Really?
Yes.
So it was buggy to the extent that you got blue screens? Ouch.
Well, okay, here's the thing. So I don't know if it was because of the... My young self blamed it on the hard drive. But now knowing more what I know now about computers, like, it probably wasn't the hard drives, because the hard drive still worked.
I mean... Yeah, that sounds about right.
I would imagine it was the software itself. Just something got corrupt in there or whatever. And, like, I was younger. I probably was... Well, this was around the time where I didn't have any money, so I was trying to get software for free. I'm sure I got something on the system, and... Yeah, anyway. But it actually turned out that, like, I had a project that I was trying to do where I needed to make a DVD. And I was looking at, like, DVD authoring software, and I came across the fact that Windows 7 had it pre-built in. So I used my student my student discount to buy Windows 7 Professional, and that was my operating system up until last year sometime, I think, when I finally decided to upgrade to Windows 10. So, and I remember I hated Windows 10 when it first came out. I was not a fan of it. It was buggy. Now, I don't mind it so much. Just the telemetry data part. That part can go away. So, anyway.
I think the first computer that I personally owned, it was mine and nobody else's, was a Windows 8 laptop.
Okay,
first... Not 8.1, it was 8.
First laptop that I ever personally owned ran on Windows 95? It was either 95 or 98.
Sheesh.
My friend had gotten a old, I think it was Micron, I think was the name of the company. That thing had a super, like, kick-ass battery in it, though. That thing lasted for freaking ever. Like, that's the one thing I do remember about that. Anyway.
That laptop I had, couldn't say the same about it. It sounded like a jet engine when you got it going, and it was also very hot.
Oh, don't get me wrong, this thing was a brick, too. You couldn't connect it to the internet. But anyway, so he got it. Originally, it had DOS on it. And he was, like, in some, like, programming class or something at school, and he, like, learned how to use QBasic to, Yeah, because QBasic ran on DOS. But he learned how to use QBasic to, like, make a program and stuff like that, so... Like a game or something. And then his uncle had a copy of Windows, I think it was 98, and so we loaded it with Windows 98. And I also remember he had, like, an old dot matrix printer that we, like, hooked up to it and stuff like that, too. So, anyway, it was kind of cool. But, yeah, that was, like, my first laptop ever. Couldn't do anything else besides, like, word processing and stuff like that. Couldn't get on the internet, but, you know what? I was in elementary school, and I loved it. It was my own laptop. So...
I actually know that feeling.
Anyway, and then, yeah, and then I got my HP ProBook 4510S and had internet on it, Windows Vista, and I was like, dude, this thing is so awesome. I think I was in middle school when I got that. Anyway, all right, getting back on track here. So, yeah, so the iPhone here has this glass background. And like I said, it looks beautiful in the picture here. But, okay, here's the problem with it being glossy like that. It is going to be
I'm
a fingerprint
sure there are
magnet.
other ways to make it glossy, right?
Yeah.
Besides using glass?
But it's going to be a fingerprint magnet. That is...
Oh, well, that too, yeah.
That is if you're dumb enough to not put a case on it. By now, we should all know that if you have an iPhone, you should... Well, if you have any phone, like a smartphone, you should put a case on it.
Like, why do people not... Oh, I mean, I guess I sort of understand why people don't put case on, but like...
Because I don't know, if you're the phone and stuff like
that. If it's an iPhone, yeah, you probably should put a case on.
Like, come on. How many times have we seen an iPhone with a cracked display?
A lot.
Okay, so we've talked about the back being glass now, right? So, if the front screen cracks as much as we know it does on an iPhone, I can only imagine how much the back is going to crack, too.
Oh, I dropped my iPhone. Oh, good thing I didn't land on the screen. Oh, wait. The glass is on the back, too.
Oh, and here's the thing. Here's the thing. So now let's get into this pricing thing here in a moment. So, it might be better in that case for your phone to actually land, for you to crack the screen, than it will to crack the back. And here's why. Because the back glass is going to cost a lot more to replace than the screen itself. So, Apple gives user... no, let's go back here. So there was a chance that the glass for the back would have been priced at or around the same price as a cracked screen under Apple Care Plus, but that's apparently not the case now. Apple Insider confirmed that a broken back won't qualify for a $29 screen replacement. It'll instead be subject to an other damage fee of $99. Plus tax.
Just for breaking the back of your phone, huh?
Just for breaking the back
of
your
phone. Good stuff.
Now, Apple gives you 2 screen replacements and 2 miscellaneous damage incidents at the $29 and $99 price, respectively. So that means you can essentially break the back of your iPhone twice, but you're going to shell out $200 for it. Or you can, crack the front screen twice, and you're going to shell out about, what, $60 or so? So, that point, though, after you get, like, your 2 strikes, though, the damage price, get this, jumps up to $349. $350. That's for the iPhone 8, mind you. If you're rocking an iPhone 8 Plus, it's going to be $399, so $400.
While I don't doubt that it probably costs a little bit to have this done, does it really have to cost that much? Really?
Yes, because it's Apple.
Okay, but here's the other thing. How do you manage to break your phone not once, not twice, but 3 times? Over its lifetime?
Ask my friend Zelda. She went through like 3 cell phones in like a period of a month.
Oh, I stand corrected. My bad. I just see this as so strange. I've had my phone for over 3 years, and like the worst that it's gotten is a scuff on the, a pretty reasonable scuff, but a scuff on the top, on the opposite side of the headphone jack. That's it.
But let's think about this
here. That was only because I was careless and didn't have a case on at the moment. I just got...
Thank you.
Since then, I've had a case. No problem. Haven't broke it. I've even dropped it a couple times.
Right, okay.
Haven't broke it.
But hold on. Hold on here, okay? You said something there. You put a case on it afterwards. How many people don't put a case on the phone? That is the problem right there. And,
I mean, even in spite of having a case on it.
Well, but even if you don't have a case on it, common sense. But how many people don't have common sense?
I've had a case on it for a while, but despite that, I still don't make a habit of dropping my phone all the time.
How many people don't have common sense, though? Think about that. Like,
yeah,
as sad as it sounds,
so.
there are people out there who just don't have common sense. But anyway, like, yeah. Now here's the thing. So, while $400, you know, if you're rocking an iPhone 8 Plus is astronomical after you, or if you don't have the Apple Care or you manage to break the back twice, is a lot of money to shell out. Now, there's not pricing because we also have to talk about the iPhone 10 as well. No pricing on what the repairs are going to be for, or like, you know, be right now. But it's probably going to be a lot more expensive if you have an iPhone 10, considering that there's already a limited supply of screens, like the OLED screens or something like that. Like, there is a limited quantity of them. I think that's also the reason the thing is so highly priced as well, is because of the screens.
Now the question is it the iPhone X or the iPhone 10? What does Apple want you to call this thing?
You know what? Okay, so Linus and Luke actually Linus, he went off on a rant about this last week, I think. So he's noticed that, like, everything is now becoming, like, Apple, like, okay, Final Cut Pro X, OSS X, or... Yeah,
so there's just no love for the number 9, apparently.
Well, no, like, everything is
Windows doesn't like the number 9. Apple apparently doesn't like the number 9.
Okay, now here's what Linus thought. So they're going to release the iPhone 10, right? It is iPhone 10. It's not iPhone X. They just decided to...
Good to know.
They decided to
I'll
go
probably still call it the iPhone X.
Well, okay, so he's thinking now that they're just going to leave it as the iPhone 10 next year? Like, iPhone 10.
What, just like Windows? They're just going to call it... I have an iPhone 10 3rd generation.
Yeah. Well, okay. So they're already starting to do this with, like, Mac OS X, where it's... Is it OS X anymore? Hang on.
I've also never known whether it was OS X or OS 10.
Oh, no. Now it's been renamed as Mac OS. But it used to be Mac OS X.
I will probably continue to call it OS X, because that's just what I've always called it. I don't know why. I just decided I'm going to call it that.
But, like, okay, so they're starting to rename everything with, like, an X at the end. Final Cut Pro X. Which apparently is Final Cut Pro 10. But anyway. So Linus says, though, that he thinks that what they're going to do is they're going to release the iPhone 10, and then the iPhone 9 is going to come after as, like, a, like, cheaper option, like the iPhone SE did. That's what he's thinking. I don't know if that's true. I don't know what's going on, but anyway. So, yeah. Anyway, so, case in point of this story, if you have an iPhone 8 or 10, cherish your screens, don't crack them, use some common sense,
and put a case on it.
Yes.
Put a case on your phone.
Dude,
you want to break
that should be
$1,000 phone? I don't think so.
That should be number
one. Don't break your $1,000 phone. Put a $10 case on it.
Yeah, you don't have to put, like, what? I think my LifeProof case is like $60, but anyway.
It doesn't have to be $100 OtterBox. Just put a case on it. Even if the case breaks, it's cheaper to just buy a new case every time you drop your phone than buy a new.
That is very, very true.
And that's if you somehow manage to find the worst cases imaginable that just break if you sneeze on them.
Anyway, all right. Let's do this. We'll do our Microsoft news right now. Normally I have it a little bit later in the show, but we'll do it right now here. So, anyway, don't have anything really great for this week. Microsoft is, however, rebranding the Windows Store to the Microsoft Store. Actually, I guess they've already done it. So the software maker is rolling out a new store update to Windows 10 testers on a release preview ring that includes the name and logo change. So basically, they've changed the little icon to be like a shopping bag with the Windows logo on it now. So that's the thing that's happened. Do I have it here? Oh no, I just have a stock graphic of like Microsoft's logo. Okay, never mind.
Well, for some reason, all the pictures in this article just don't work, so that's fun. Not sure what's up with that, but, well, whatever.
What? Okay.
I can screenshot this for you if you want. They're just black. Nothing.
Well, okay, go ahead and screenshot it and send it through Discord so I can see this. Because it should be doing that.
I lied. The first one works.
Okay, so...
The rest of them don't work.
So the one that has the... Well, you've got the article...
The one that just says Microsoft.
Oh,
it works.
Okay,
The one at the very top.
Which is the one that I've got, but I'm not going to throw up. What the heck is... Oh, okay. I see. Microsoft is... Yeah, it's just a black...
I don't know what's up with that, but, well, whatever. And you know what's funny is if I click on them, I see things pop up. And they do. And I can see them now. I can see them if I click on them, but they just don't show up in the article for some reason.
This is funny, yeah. Funky. So literally... Yeah, so here's the article right here. Yeah, it's literally just a black box.
Just a black box in the middle of my article. Wow. That's fantastic.
Way to go, The Verge. Problems-ish? Maybe? Anyway, okay. So, Windows has not officially unveiled, hang on. I gotta go back here. While the store won't change much apart from its name, Windows 10 users will notice that the taskbar icon for the new store now has a shopping bag and a Microsoft company logo. I think I'm missing a part of the article.
Well, I can, in fact, see that. So, I can see the shopping bag with the Microsoft logo. Yep.
My next
fantastic.
The next portion says Microsoft has not officially unveiled the new building. I think I'm missing a part of the article, aren't I?
It says branding, not building.
Oh, yep, you're right. Okay. Maybe I am right here. Okay, Microsoft has not officially unveiled the new branding, but the Microsoft Store naming is identical to the company's retail stores. I think that's what I was thinking, because I knew they had something to do with the stores, so I think in my mind, as I was quickly reading through it, it put building in instead of branding.
Yeah, you do that sometimes, I've noticed.
Hey, you try leading the show.
Now, here's the thing. I would probably... Now, if you were to make me do that, I would probably simply find something different to fail at. I think I could manage to, read the articles properly, but I'd probably fail at something.
You would fail... I know what area you would fail in. You would fail at names. You would fail
okay, but you do as well, so that doesn't count.
Hey,
you got to find something.
You know what?
Come up with something that you do well that I wouldn't be able.
No. I at least try. You don't even attempt.
Well, isn't that just smart of me for not attempting something I know I'm going to fail at?
Maybe it is, but anyway. So
See?
Moving on. You know what? Maybe I should let you direct the show next week.
I think I'll have to pass on that one. Again, put that under the umbrella of maybe not try something I'm going to fail.
See, I have a lot of, you know what? Okay, think about it, okay? What do you do on the show every week? You just basically come on and you comment.
Yeah?
I find the articles. Well, yeah, I find all the articles. I sort them out. I put them into the correct order. I have to read through all of them so I know what's going on in them. There's a lot to do. Not only do I direct the show as well, but yeah.
Every now and then I've got an article to throw in there. But sure, you're mostly...
So if I read a word wrong, it's only because I've got some... think about it. The other stories that I've got here, I've already read through them, and I've got stuff that I'm thinking about in them. So, anyway... Because I'm always thinking ahead on these. Stuff like that. So, anyway, like I said, branding, building, because they're talking about the retail stores, Anyway, okay, we've argued about that enough. But anyway, so I guess, long story short, TLDR, they're basically going to turn the store into, like, possibly more like a place where, well, okay, they may be adding, like, the option to actually buy, like, the Surface Pro and, like, devices right straight through the store. So, yeah.
Interesting, I guess.
That'd be an interesting thing. You know what? It would set them apart from all the other, like, app stores and stuff like that. Like, you can't do that with Google Play or the App Store. So, anyway. All right, moving on. Oh, Instagram.
Oh boy, here we go.
So we talked about Instagram a couple weeks ago. They had that giant hack. They're in the news again this week. Instagram is the latest social media platform to have its algorithms accidentally promote hate speech and fail to filter it out. The social media platform used an offensive photo that read, "I will rape you," to advertise itself on Facebook. Oops.
So this is another case of just an algorithm had a moment, and now they're having to put out some fires.
Right. Wow. So,
'cause that's what it seems like.
So the Guardian reports, Guardian reporter Olivia Salon recently learned that Instagram was advertising itself with a screenshot she had taken of a hateful email she had received that read, "I will rape you before I kill you, you filthy whore." The subject line of the email was, "Olivia, you effing bitch." Lovely. Lovely. So here's the little photo here. I don't know if this is the actual ad or what it is. But, yeah, so apparently, Instagram reportedly turned the screenshot into an advertisement. Okay, so it's a screenshot. Advertisement displayed to Salon's sister on Facebook with the line, "See Olivia Salon's photo and post from friends on Instagram." The photo was posted on Instagram and Facebook almost a year ago and received, get this, just 3 likes and more than a dozen comments on Instagram, which I guess was enough social engagement to actually trigger Instagram's algorithm.
That's actually kind of funny. I find this whole thing kind of funny. Like, what?
Yeah. Whoops.
You done goofed, I'm afraid. You done goofed.
Yeah, and I done goofed because I didn't have that full screen here. So there it is if you want to see it again real quick. This is rather offensive. So I did blur out the F word in here though. So, but regardless, it's still offensive. There we go. Okay, we'll get off of that now. No, it's not what I want to do. There we go. Okay. So yeah, I would imagine Instagram has is going to be doing a little PR on this and probably apologizing. Well, actually, no, not Instagram, Facebook, because Facebook is the parent company of Instagram. Because I guess they bought
I think
them.
really the best thing they could do here is apologize and promise to fix the algorithms.
Yes.
Like, trying to do some damage control while sprinkling in a little promo for your services. No, don't do that, please.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so this is only one instance of Instagram posting offensive content, but it suggests that Instagram's algorithms may not be set up to filter out hateful images and could be mistakenly posting other hateful messages and ads elsewhere online. So you're right. Okay, apologize for it and then fix your algorithm so that this doesn't happen again.
I'm sure it would be possible to implement some kind of word recognition software that just like it scans the image and it looks for words that people don't want to see.
I think this is already in place in a lot of places though, because you can actually go into Facebook and set up like words that you don't want displayed on your wall and stuff like that. Like, at least...
So, obviously, they have the ability to do that. Not sure why they haven't.
I don't know. But, yeah. This is one of those things where... Whoa. What the heck was that? Okay.
What happened?
I don't actually know. You know how your computer makes a sound every time, like, something gets, plugged in or unplugged if it's USB?
Sure.
Yeah, it's just, like, did, like, the little tone, like... Well, at first I thought it was, like, you, like, dropped, like, I thought you dropped or something like that. But I have no idea. Okay, moving on. Everything seems to be fine. We're still up. We're still streaming, so... Yeah, that was interesting. Okay. Okay. Let's talk about Experian real quick. Now, there was... Well, before we talk about Experian, we have to go back and briefly talk about Equifax. You remember that giant breach a couple weeks ago?
Of course I do, yes.
Which we did not cover on the Ram Show. We probably should have.
But we did talk about it.
Well, no. We talked last week about how, like, apparently in, like, Australia or something like that, they were using, like, admin for login.
We did talk. Well, we kind of, by extension, talked about it a little bit.
Yeah, but, like, we should have talked about it, like, the week before when it was all going on. Anyway, I think, the media did a good enough job of covering it and stuff like that, so... Anyway, we focused on other things. Well, because of that, now, like, financial companies and stuff like that have been telling people to, like, freeze their credit and stuff like that. So, Experian's online PIN recovery system could actually let attackers undo a credit freeze by, get this, figuring out a few easy facts. And that's all it would take. So in the weeks that are following the big Equifax breach and stuff like that, consumers have been, like I said, told to freeze their credit, thereby blocking possible attackers from opening new lines of credit and stuff like that under people's names, which makes sense as a defense strategy. But as a cybersecurity reporter, Brian Krebs reported, the protections around these freezes are actually easy to subvert. So Experian makes it easy to undo a credit freeze, resetting a subject's PIN through an easily accessible account recovery page. So I guess how it works is you get a PIN number, you got to give Experian that PIN number to unfreeze your credit. Now they've made this system easy for people to get the PIN numbers. Now think about this. So even in other cases where, like, because I don't think you actually have to have an account for Experian. I think you just go there, you type in some information, and then they give you your PIN number. So there's not even that added security of having a login account, which I think is problem number one. Anyway, so what you do, the page only asks for a person's name, address, date of birth, and social security number. Now, normally you wouldn't know a person's social security number or address or anything like that. But, let's remember here that, I don't know, most of that information was kind of sort of compromised when Equifax got breached. Just saying. Just saying. Now, after you enter that data in, attackers then just have to enter an email address. And get this, not an email address that's linked to an account, any email address out on the internet. So
just pick one. Pick your favorite.
Yep,
you can use it.
Just pick an email address, type it in. That's all there is to that step. And then they answer a few security questions. So here's the thing. So the security questions may, that may be the thing. People may argue, oh, you have to know such and such about this and such about this. Well, here's the problem. is that the security questions can be things like, what are previous cities that you lived in, or who are your relatives and stuff like that. Any cyber criminal, I would assume, and this is, you can let me know whether you think this is a good assumption or not, but I would assume they have a pretty good understanding of how the internet works and how Google works.
Yeah, I think that's a safe assumption to make. Yeah.
So basically, the whole deal is that, you know, hacker has your information from the Equifax breach. They put your information in. They enter, to remember, any email address they want. And then, you know, using the power of the internet, they figure out, you know, the security question answers. And bada bing, bada boom, they have froze your credit, and they can open a new line of credit. So
yeah, that's probably not something you want to have happen.
So, yeah. So, in response to Krebs' report, Experian claims that it goes beyond the measures identified to authenticate users. They say, while we do not disclose these additional processes, there we go, let's see if I can talk today, processes, said the company in a statement, they include a broad array of checks that are not visible to the consumer. Nevertheless, Krebs claims that several of his Twitter followers reported success at retrieving their PINs on the site and via email after answering Experian's knowledge-based authentication questions. So, I don't know. I would imagine that statement is partially, well, I would imagine it's kind of damage control on this, and we're just going to cover our asses right now.
I think that's probably what it sounds like.
So, yeah. But, I would just imagine, like, you would think they would have, I would honestly think that you, like, why wouldn't you need to have an account set up first? Like, that adds an additional level of security there. Or even, like, well, okay, so it would make sense then. So you have an account that's linked to an email address, right? So that would then eliminate that, you know, that problem. Because there's a huge security flaw right there where it's like, enter an email address. Any email address you want.
Oh, okay. Right.
You see what I'm saying? It's like signing up for, like, you know, a Google account or whatever, and then forgetting your password and needing to reset that, where it says, you know, here, answer these quick security questions and then enter any email address you want. We'll send you the password or the reset link. Like, do you see the problem there?
I think I do, yeah.
So, I think, like, one thing that should have been implemented was the fact that, yeah, you have to create an account with them. That account then ties your email address to that account. You then log in, and then you answer all the security questions, and then your PIN gets sent to that specific email address. Because theoretically, like, who's going to have access to that? Like, okay, yes, a hacker could probably get in, but that then sounds like a lot more work than they're probably willing to put in. Let's be honest.
It's just one more layer.
Exactly. It's like, and here's my thing. Like, as I look at, like, the Equifax breach and, like, other things like this, it's like, something that is this critical, why aren't these companies putting more security in place? Like, after reading this, like, I would never trust Experian to, like, do anything with my credit. Not after reading this. It's like, no. Like, I want a company who's going to put the layers of security in there needed to hopefully protect me. Stuff like that. So, anyway. I'm curious to see how much money Equifax is going to have to pay out for this massive breach here.
Oh, somebody's losing their job, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah. speaking of Equifax here, let's talk about them. So they've been in the news, recently here. They're already having to do a bunch of PR, and now they're having to do some more PR. So
really, good job.
Earlier this month, as we know, hackers broke into the Equifax servers and stole 143 million people's personal information, which includes their social security numbers. As we talked about, once you have a social security number, there's a lot of things you can do with that, especially opening new lines of credit. In response to the attack, Equifax set up a website, which is www.equifaxsecurity2017.com. Let's just talk about the domain real quick here. Like, really? That's the best you could have came up with?
Yeah.
Like,
that one's a little low effort, I'd say. But I mean, well, okay. Does it do the job?
It does do the job.
I think that's the real question. Does it do the job?
Here's my thing, though.
Put aside the name being a little low effort.
That is true. That is true. And I'm sure we'll get into that in a moment, actually. But anyway, like, here's the thing. Like, why did they create a whole separate website, though? Why not just link it to your Equifax website? Like, because, like, okay, minus the fact that the Equifax website may still be, compromised, like, really all this website is for you to be able to go and check and see if you were compromised. So, like, there's not really any, shall we say, personal data. Like, basically the only personal data there is, was I affected? Yes or no, basically, I would imagine. So, like I said, I think it would have made more sense for them to link it to the Equifax website. Or the Equifax domain, that is. Because they could have even put it on a separate server and then, just, pointed people to that and things like that. Like, anyway, and we'll find out why I think that's probably a better solution here in a moment. But basically, yeah, so you go to the website and you enter in some information and it lets you know whether or not you were compromised or not. Now, Equifax ended up creating, well, there was a problem with this. So, okay, yeah, so for possible victims to verify whether they were affected. Now, because the process involves sharing sensitive information, yes, you do have to put part of your social security number in. It's like the last 6 digits. I looked it up today. Consumers have to trust that they're entering their data in the right place.
Oh, man.
Like, okay, first off, like, the credibility of Equifax has already gone down here. Now they're using this EquifaxSecurity2017.com website here. So, let's go back to that whole right place thing. So that can be tricky because the breach recovery site itself isn't part of Equifax.com. If users end up on the wrong site, they could end up leaking their data they've already, they're already concerned has been stolen. So, Equifax actually ended up creating that situation on Twitter. In a tweet to a potential victim, the credit bureau linked to, get this, SecurityEquifax2017.com. Whoops!
Oops.
So, now do you see why I say it was probably a bad idea for them to set up a whole separate website?
Yeah, I think I do.
Like I said, dude, creating a subdomain is the easiest thing in the world. You go into your hosting provider's, control panel, you literally click on, subdomain, and then you put the name in there, and it creates a subdomain. It's this magical thing that, Oh, man. But no, instead we're going to create a whole different website that's not even linked to Equifax, like, at all. And then open up a bunch of... Yeah, because then it opens it up to this problem right here. So, this says it was an easy mistake to make. It shouldn't have been. But the result sent the user to a site with no connection to Equifax itself. Equifax detected that or deleted the tweet shortly after the article that we're reading right now is published, but it remained live for, get this, nearly 24 hours.
I wonder how many people went there as a result of that.
Well, okay, it looks like I've got a screenshot of a tweet right here, right? It says, "Hi, for more information about the product and enrollment, please visit securityequifax2017.com. I wonder if Tim still works there. Again, it was supposed to be equifaxsecurity2017.com. Further research reveals 3 more tweets that had been sent out to potential victims also had the same false address. That dated back to September 9th. Those tweets have also since been deleted. So, anyway. Now here's the good news. Luckily, the alternate URL Equifax sent the victims to actually wasn't malicious. So, they got lucky.
Ooh,
Very lucky.
Okay. That's... Still, though.
Still, yes. So, full-stack developer Nick Sweating, yeah, I think that's right, he set up the misspelled phishing site in order to expose vulnerabilities that existed in Equifax response page. He says, "I made the site because Equifax made a huge mistake by using a domain that doesn't have any trust attached to it, as opposed to hosting it on the Equifax.com website." Again, like, would you agree at this point now, Zach?
Yeah. Make a subdomain.
Yeah, it's not that hard. So, Sweating tells The Verge, it makes it ridiculously easy for scammers to come in and build clones. They can buy up dozens of domains and typo squat to get... Yeah, that's squat, right? Yeah, squat. To get people to type in their info. Sweating says no data will leave his page and that he removed any risk of leaking data via network requests by redirecting them back to the user's own computer. So hopefully data entered on his site is actually relatively safe. But still, Equifax's team linked out to his page. That's not reassuring at all.
Really, everything they've done after this breach has just been, what the heck?
So, you know what I saw? I think I'm actually missing part of... I'm pretty sure I'm missing part of this article, actually, here. So, it sounds like they just hired a bunch of people, kind of, like, to help out with this huge breach and, like, how to handle it. But it doesn't sound like their plan has been that well put into place. Which I think is part of the problem. But that's all right if it does. Well, it says we are live. I don't see us yet. Okay, presumably we are still streaming now. I think.
Good.
Presumably.
Presumably.
Let me refresh this page real quick here. Anyway, what I was saying was that, yeah, okay, I see us now. Okay. Anyway, so what I was saying was that Equifax's entire response to the breach has been a total mess. So the company's website set off alarms for lawyers who worried it might waive victims' rights to sue the company. Remember, we talked about kind of sort of last week where, like, you could, like, check to see if you've been, like, you know, compromised, but there was a provision in there, like, in the terms of service agreement or whatever.
Yeah, where it says you can't sue them.
Yeah, where it said you couldn't, like, join a class action lawsuit.
Class action, yeah, okay. That.
Which I don't think that would hold up anyways. Anyway, so yeah, basically it's just, I think, well, okay, they're trying to do a bunch of damage control, but they haven't, like, really thought out how they're going to do the damage control very well yet. So it just seems to keep being one thing after another thing after another thing. So you're right. I would be very surprised if somebody doesn't lose their job. or multiple people lose their job. So yeah, anyway. All right. I mean, that's kind of the end of the main topics that I have for this week. Let's go through a couple things real quick here. Oh, I threw this in here kind of. T-Mobile just announced that they're actually increasing their soft cap for unlimited data plans from 32 gigabytes to 50 gigabytes now.
We're starting to see an improvement. That's good. But 50 is still a far cry from infinity.
That's true. How many people are going to actually hit that soft cap, though?
Probably not many.
So,
but it's really the.
Anyway,
I don't know. I guess it's kind of the thought that counts, kind of, sort of.
"Quote unquote" unlimited. I mean, let's be fair. Technically, they're not stopping you, so technically it is unlimited.
Yeah, which is why they get away with calling it that, even though I don't think they should.
Right. Let's see. Lenovo's Retro ThinkPad 25 laptop has been leaked. T-Mobile and Sprint could announce their merge in October. Tesla is reportedly developing its own chip with AMD for self-driving cars. Oh, this is interesting. Supposedly soon you will be able to, take your Amazon orders that you don't want back to Kohl's. So Kohl's announced on Tuesday that it will accept Amazon returns at 82 of its locations in and around Los Angeles and Chicago starting next month. So once you hand over a return, Kohl's will then package and transport it into Amazon's return centers free of charge. That's kind of cool, actually.
I guess that's kind of interesting. I don't know.
Yeah. Slightly easier than, you know, returning it through UPS or USPS. Stuff like that. So, it says the move is Kohl's allying itself to the e-commerce giant as analysts fear that Amazon will swallow up retail stores. Excuse me. Let me ask you something real quick. Do you think retail, like brick and mortar stores, are ever going to go away? I don't see it.
I mean, they'll probably still exist, but they will. Their presence will decrease quite a bit.
I have to say, okay, shopping online is convenient and most times a lot cheaper. But here's my problem with shopping online. I hate waiting for shipping.
Yeah, that's true. But sometimes it's all right.
Sometimes it's all right. That is true. Amazon is also working on, get this, Alexa-powered smart glasses.
Huh?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It is kind of interesting. I have not actually read this article yet. So Amazon's first wearable device will be a pair of smart glasses with the Alexa voice assistant built in, according to a report in the Financial Times. The device will reportedly look like a regular pair of glasses and use bone construction technologies so that users can hear Alexa without the need for earphones or conventional speakers. It won't, however, likely have a screen or camera, although Google Glass founder Babak Parviz has apparently been working on the project following his hiring by Amazon in 2014. I don't know. I think it would be cool to have a pair of, like, you know, smart glasses, like a screen in them and stuff like that. You could actually, like, you know, like scroll through the internet or something. That'd be kind of cool.
I'd say.
Dude, the technology will be here at some point, but
anyway. Yes, it will.
Oh, that's right. This is the other one real quick here that we'll just kind of touch on. Let me get to the right page here. There we go. Okay. So I guess the malware attack on Windows utility what is it? CCleaner? Yeah, there we go. May have been more targeted and sophisticated than it seems. So in the days since the attack was announced, researchers have been pouring through data from a seized command and control center, finding evidence that the attacks were using the compromising to target some of the world's most powerful tech companies. Interesting. I'm not quite sure. I didn't hear anything about this huge, like, malware thing. So, like,
I didn't hear about it either, actually.
So, I'm confused here. So, did CCleaner? Well, okay, let's take a look here. Hackers have successfully breached CCleaner's security to inject malware into the app and distribute it to millions of users. Oh, okay, here. Let's see. So I would imagine. So I don't know if you get it like by having it on your computer already, or if they're taking advantage of people looking for it and then putting it up on, you know, websites and stuff like that, where you play, you know, that wonderful thing where you play download roulette.
I don't very often because I have ad block.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't know. But, yeah, I didn't really hear anything about that, so I guess that's a thing that happened. Anyway, all right. Well, I think with that, we are going to call it a show for this week. What do you think, Zach?
Sure thing.
So, anyway, yeah, maybe what we'll do, maybe we'll talk with Joe here in a moment and see what's up. I'd like to know. Yeah, maybe he won't be so shy after we get off the stream here. So, anyway, so that'll be a thing that hopefully is happening soon-ish, I think. So, yeah. Anyway, with that being said, Zach, I doubt you have anything else to add for this week, do you? No? Alrighty. Then with that being said, I am going to end this episode of The Ram Show. Thank you so much for joining us. If you enjoyed it, thumbs up. If you didn't, you know what to do. Thumbs down. Get subscribed if you haven't done so already. Click on the bell icon to get notifications anytime we upload new videos so you don't miss anything. And with that being said, we will see you next week right here on The Ram Show.